Hello, my name is Michael Wetta, and I am the Associate Librarian at the Painted Desert Campus in Holbrook. Today, I'm going to briefly speak with you about locating open educational resources for use in your courses. Very briefly, let's talk about what open educational resources are. OER is commonly defined as teaching, learning, and research materials in any format or medium that reside in the public domain or have been licensed in a manner that provides everyone the free and perpetual permission to alter and make use of those materials. OER can be a wide variety of different types of teaching materials, from supplemental materials such as a single infographic or activity, to lesson plans and lectures, to even full textbooks or full courses. Now, as you can imagine, and as is often the case with the internet, there is a massive amount of OER available online. And the sheer magnitude can create some obstacles to finding quality items that fit your needs. So, we have developed a couple resources to assist in finding OER that I will go over with you, and I will also highlight a few of the best website repositories for OER. We will begin by quickly discussing them, and then we will take a look at them directly. First, we have created a couple of subject guides covering open access resources and open educational resources. Now, the reason for developing an open access subject guide in conjunction with the open educational resources subject guide is because not only can open access materials also be used in your courses, but if their licensing allows for it, open access materials are just open educational resources waiting to become. Create a lesson plan or directions for how to employ the materials in the classroom, make the items available to others, and you have created an OER. But we are going to concentrate on the OER subject guide because both of these guides are very similar in layout. They will provide some introductory information with links if you would like to explore a topic further, and then listings of a variety of sites where information, materials, and other resources can be found. These subject guides are accessible through the NPC Library's website, and we will take a look at those in a second. Finally, while there are many websites devoted to OER materials, there are a few that are very well developed that you may want to start your OER search with. The first one I would suggest visiting is OER Commons. The OER grant project that NPC is working with is currently called the OER Azona network, uses this site as the repository for the OER they create. It is massive and it has some very useful filters which can be applied to narrow your searches that aren't included on other OER sites. OER Commons is typical of the various OER aggregator sites online, but its user interface is much better than most. The next site I wanted us to look at is OpenStax. OpenStax is affiliated with Rice University, and their nonprofit mission is to improve educational access and learning for everyone. Now, this site is well designed and mainly has full textbooks available, but they do provide some supplementary materials designed specifically for use with those textbooks. Now, this site is typical for those institutions or groups that create OER, and you will find that these are the types of sites that many of the OER aggregator sites, such as OER Commons, routinely link directly to. The final site that we are going to quickly take a look at is PhET Interactive Simulations from the University of Colorado Boulder. Now, the only reason we are going to be looking at this site of high quality supplementary OER materials is just to emphasize the wide variety of materials that can be found. And now let's take a quick look at these resources, and we'll start with the subject guides. The easiest way to get there is by going to npc.edu. Then if you go to the hamburger in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that. Then you'll need to click on a library down here. This brings us to the library website. Here, if we scroll down to these three boxes, in the resources box, we want to click on subject guides, of course. These are all the subject guides created by the library so far. There are a few ways to find it, but you can just scroll down until we find open educational resources. Click on the title, and here we are. On this subject guide, the first three tabs, what is OER, Creative Commons licensing, and developing OER, will provide some introductory information about OER and will also include videos and other resources to delve deeper into those concepts. The next tab we have is OER training resources. This tab lists various resources to further your understanding of OER. Next tab, OER tools. This tab lists a number of different applications and platforms of use in developing OER, some of which have been designed specifically for the creation of OER. Now, the last two tabs are devoted solely to online sources where a wide variety of OER materials can be found and accessed. Now, the sheer volume and variety of websites about OER makes organizing them a bit difficult. We first separated them by whether the site caters to a subject-specific area or if it is a large general repository. In those tabs, there have been further attempts to categorize the sites, but it will require a little searching. Obviously, these lists are not comprehensive, and there are many additional sites that can also be found online. Okay, next, let's go ahead and take a look at the OER Commons website. It is listed on the General Repositories tab of the OER Subject Guide. If you scroll down just a little bit, here it is right here. But you can also go there just by typing in the address of oercommons.org. A couple of things to be aware of. OER Commons does provide a number of different tools to create OER from scratch or by altering existing OER materials. And they have a variety of different ways to locate OER besides your typical search, such as these tabs at the top of the page, Discover, Hubs, Groups, and Learn More. But we are just going to be taking a look at searching. So let's go ahead and click on Advanced Search, which the library always recommends doing advanced search because it has additional functions and features available to assist you in searching. As you can see, they have many options to apply to narrow your search results, including of note, education standards. And as you can see, there are many different education standards. I'm not really familiar with them, but there are plenty for you to choose from to assist in your search. Language, the subject area, the material type, and they break it down quite detailed. The primary user, the education level of the material or the student using the material, and of course the media format. And there are a number of additional options that can also be applied. So let's just do a quick search. We're going to use the keyword Cold War, and we are going to search without any filters applied. As you see, we get 207 results. They are listed on the right-hand side. They include some descriptive information such as a rating, description, the associated subject areas, the type of material, the author, and the date it was added. On the left-hand side, are filters that can be applied to further narrow your search results on the fly. If we go ahead and select the subject area of history, it automatically updates the results, taking into account the different filters you have selected. Once you have located an item that you are interested in, uh, you can click on the title to receive a bit more information about the materials down here and a link uh, that will take you directly to the item itself so that you can review it and decide if it fills your needs. This website I would absolutely recommend as a starting point for locating OERs, and these are just some of the very basic functions of this site. Okay, so that's OER Commons. Next, let's take a quick look at OpenStax. And OpenStax is also included on the General Repository tab of the OER Subject Guide. It's down a little bit farther. There it is right there, OpenStax. But once again, you can also get there by typing in the address of openstax.org. This site is typical for institutions who are creating their own OERs. They provide information about who they are and what they do. And of course, they provide detailed information about the OER materials that they created. If we go to the Subjects tab up here and click on All, we can see that they have broken their offerings into 8 different subject areas that are then further subdivided. Since we have nurse in an NPC, let's view all nursing books. As you can see, they are broken down into those same subdivisions, and the items themselves are listed here. Let's go ahead and click on one. Let's click on nutrition for nurses. We come to a page that provides some descriptive information, including a summary. Tabs at the top can provide supplementary resources for the student and the instructor. On the left, we have a few different ways to access the material. And if we click on View All, we can see that this is a well-designed resource. And this is typical and indicative of all the resources on this site. They are going to be well designed. Now, that is just the basics for this site as well. You will find other OER sites of this type will be laid out in a similar nature. While the site mainly focuses on full textbooks, there are many OER sites out there with a wide variety of types of OER materials. Let me give you a brief glimpse of what can be found. On the subject-specific repositories page of the OER Subject Guide, if you scroll down just a little bit, you find PhET interactive simulations from the University of Boulder, Colorado Boulder. And once again, you can go there directly by going to phet.colorado.edu. PhET stands for Physics Education Technology, but they quickly branched out and included resources for other science subject areas as well. You can find those by going to the Simulations tab and clicking on All Sims. As you can see, there are over 100 different interactive simulation programs exploring various science concepts. The simulations have adjustable variables, allowing for interaction and are freely available for download and use. There's one exploring how Kepler's laws apply to bodies in the solar system, exploring circuit construction, fractions, and mixed numbers, balancing chemical equations. And among all of them, down near the end, near the bottom of the end, we find John Travoltage. Learn about voltage by shocking John Travolta. What more can you ask for? Anyway, Whether you are coming straight from college or have been teaching for decades, I am sure that you have created educational resources that could easily be developed into open educational resources just by making them available to others. But even if you don't create your own OER, open access and open educational resources are a great way to supplement your courses, and these resources are a great place to start searching. Thank you.